Welcome to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show, trying to make sense of this crazy Arizona market. And I was very pleased to see the Cromford market people that we rely on for all of our data here in Arizona is taking a close look at trustee sales this morning. And they've also announced that they're going to be presenting their data a little bit differently using WordPress. And for those of you that are real estate agents, pay close attention to what Cromford is navigating towards to make life easier for you to find the data and read their reports. So I'll keep you posted on that. For those of you that are not agents that don't have access to this, just stay tuned here and I will put all the pertinent information in front of you like I always try to do. Now, you've heard me say for the longest time that a large percentage of a small number is still a small number. And I applied that. We're going to talk about foreclosures here in just a quick second. But I applied that back here. Down here, when our listings were at 4,944, there were headlines when listings all of a sudden went up to here, 10,000, that they were saying that inventory has climbed. Listings are up 57%, 70%. And it was just making headlines. It's because the percentage was huge. My comment was, great. A large percentage of a small number is still a small number. Let me know when we're up 350% and I'll start paying attention, because that's when things really start to change. And right now we're sitting at 25,000 units out there, and we aren't seeing a market that's tumbling or crashing. And that is because normal, and I'm going to go over some extremes here a little bit further down the video here, so stay tuned. The extremes are showing that normal is 27,000 homes for our market, and we aren't there yet. So what are we looking at with current trustee sales? You can see this chart here. The red chart, the red line on the top is a notice of trustee sales, and then the blue line is the ones that actually sold, foreclosed on. We're at about, right now, 400 to 500 notices per month. That's notices. Current trustee sales, we've got about 100 to 150 completed foreclosures. That's today's numbers. About 300 notices canceled every month. So that's why there's a gap here. They're canceled because people met the requirement. What is normal? Well, normal is about, let's say, 1,000 notices per month and 400 trustee sales. That's normal. What's making headlines now? What making headlines is YouTube clickbait. Look at foreclosures. They've increased. They've increased by X percentage. Here we go. We're crashing. We are currently about 50% below normal. And you can see by that chart that that's about where we're at. But here's the thing to consider too. Maricopa County has grown from 3.5 million to 4.7 million in 22 years. So our population has really gone up, but our normal foreclosure rate has not. If you go back here to 2004, draw a little circle here, this is kind of where we were, folks. 2004, roll the tape here forward 22 years, and we're below that number. Now, if you took out all this nonsense, you wouldn't be having headlines that says, well, foreclosures are way up. You'd just be ignoring it because it's not an event. So what got us to where we were? Well, we know how we got there, so we won't beat that up. But here's another look at foreclosures, just going back to when they kind of peaked around 2012. We're still way down here in the basement. The numbers are not spiking. They're going up, but very little. Let's look at extremes for a second. So I'm going to bounce back and forth here for just a moment because you can't read that, but I'm going to show you how you can. Here's our active listings right now. We're sitting here at 24,798. Let me pull out my handy dandy magnifying glass. Let's look at active listings and look at the very top. Our high was 58,334, and that's when we had all the foreclosures. 58,000 homes for sale. Our record was 8,162. I showed you a weekly one down there at 4,900. Typical is 26,536. Where are we at today? Today we are, I think it was the first number I showed you there. That's where we're at now. We're typical. We're below typical. You take a look here at our months of supply. Months of supply right now are 3.2. Where were we when things were extreme? Let's take a look. Months of supply, 20.6 months of supply. That's when things really got ugly. We're 3.6. We're not there yet. Listing success rate by calendar month. How bad has that gotten? We're sitting here at 64% listing success rate. If we go back and we look at our listing success rate here on extremes, where were we? Well, let's see. Listing success rate, boom, 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 down here. The highest it's ever been, 93.3%. What did I say we were? 67. The lowest it's ever been, 20%. So do you see the picture that I'm painting? I haven't showed you one number yet that really warrants a huge headline, that things are crashing, that things are really bad, especially when it comes to foreclosures. Now, there's a lot of reasons to look and say that our economy is teetering. Well, maybe not. I mean, we're not here yet. Keep seeing these. This is YouTube land. YouTube land is where you go for all the negativity. Foreclosure crisis unfolding, neighborhoods under siege. I don't see it, folks. It's not there. Now, to temper with all this YouTube negativity, let's take a look at what's really going around. Berkshire Hathaway just bought Taylor Morrison for $8.3 billion cash. Do you think they're not looking at our foreclosure data? Foreclosure data? I can't even say the word. Do you think they're not looking at trends? Looking and saying, well, is that market going up or is that market going down? Paying 8.3, they paid above market value for Taylor Morrison. Why? Well, people are moving to the Southwest. Taylor Morrison's one of the top builders here in the Southwest. They went in and offered them a lot of money and took it over, and they're going to wait. Just paid $8.3 billion. Is he looking at foreclosure numbers? He probably is. He's shaking it off. He's looking and saying these headlines that are showing that we're growing double digit in foreclosures, and yet we're still not up to the normal rate that we saw in 2004, 22 years ago. What's all this chatter about? Now, there's a lot of chatter out there too saying, well, HUD is holding things back. The government's hiding foreclosures. I don't believe a word of it, mostly because I haven't seen it. I haven't read it. I've read it only here on YouTube. I haven't seen actual numbers that make me say, oh boy, let's be concerned about that. You can find it. I can go back and pull out a Melody Wright video and show you that things are going to hell in a handbasket. But that's not what this channel is for. This channel is for you to be able to look at these numbers and say, what's really happening? So if I just focus on foreclosures today, I'm here to tell you, it ain't there, folks. It's just not rolling up to a big problem. In fact, the percentage increase that we have now is less than it's been for 22 years. That's not a headline. That's a snoozer. And when you look at who bought one of the largest builders in our area, those guys do their research too. So it's not panic time. Unemployment rates, interest rates, affordability, those are a concern. Affordability is a concern. Crashing right now is not. How's affordability going to shake out? I have no idea. But what I can tell you is I don't see a crash right now in our immediate future. I don't see foreclosures spiking. We're going to have 50,000 units all of a sudden hit the market. I'm not saying that. In fact, now today, active listings are going down. So that's where we're at. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, rick@rickhelps.com. Use that QR code up in the top here or the link down below to request a zip code market report for your neighborhood. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, rick@rickhelps.com. Take care.